Imagine if the things you see as clutter, from household items past their prime to objects that have lost their purpose, held the secret to creating your dream garden. Welcome to Suhar Aesthetic Studio, a place where forgotten objects are reborn and creativity blossoms. In this collection, we journey through a gallery of genius ideas, exploring how to transform the mundane into the magical and the forgotten into stunning focal points for your outdoor space. I'd love to hear from you. Which approach speaks to you most? Are you drawn to creating rustic, weathered charm? Or do you prefer crafting elegant and whimsical pieces? Share what inspires you in the comments below. You never know who it might influence. Behind this screen is not just another creator, but someone with a dream and a family growing alongside this channel. Every like, comment, and subscription truly helps that dream flourish. Thank you for being here, and thank you for seeing the beauty in the overlooked. One, a fairy tale bathtub garden. Create a truly magical garden escape by giving a vintage bathtub a second life as a grand, overflowing planter. This project turns a large, forgotten fixture into the spectacular centerpiece of an enchanting miniature world. An old, freestanding tub, salvaged from a renovation or scrapyard, provides the perfect vessel. After ensuring proper drainage by drilling holes in the bottom, it is filled with quality potting soil, ready for planting. The key to the dramatic effect is planting it with prolific trailing flowers, such as petunias. The abundant pink and white blossoms are encouraged to cascade over the edge, creating a stunning illusion of a tub overflowing with floral bubbles. To enhance the whimsical theme, the bathtub is surrounded by a charming fairy village. These miniature houses, which can be crafted from recycled wood scraps, bark, and twigs, are nestled amongst the flower beds. A neat stepping stone path leads the eye towards the central feature, while tall topiaries frame the scene. As evening falls, draped strings of fairy lights add a warm, magical glow, proving that even unlikely recycled items can be transformed into a breathtaking and captivating storybook setting. Two, a whimsical garden tea party. Host a whimsical tea party in your garden that never ends by creating a charming, tiered planter from recycled crockery. This delightful sculpture brings a touch of storybook magic to any flower bed, transforming forgotten items into a vibrant focal point. The project begins by collecting an assortment of old, mismatched teapots, teacups, and saucers, especially those with interesting textures like a crackle glaze. To build the tower, a hole must be carefully drilled through the center of each piece. They are then threaded onto a sturdy metal rod, which is anchored in the ground or a larger base pot for stability. Inverted teacups act as clever spacers between the teapot tiers, providing height and visual balance. Each teapot in the stack is then filled with potting mix and planted with cascading flowers, such as petunias in shades of pink and purple, which spill beautifully from the spouts and tops. For a final touch of enchantment, small, hand-painted figurines are placed on the saucers, looking like tiny guests. This results in a unique piece of garden art that combines vintage china with the life of fresh flowers. 3. A Wheelbarrow's Enchanted Village. Transform a rusty, forgotten wheelbarrow into a movable masterpiece, creating an enchanting, self-contained fairy garden that can be placed anywhere. This project celebrates the beauty of weathered, recycled objects, turning a hard-working tool into a whimsical focal point. An old metal wheelbarrow, with its authentic patina and peeling paint, becomes the perfect rustic vessel for this display. After ensuring a few drainage holes are present in the base, it's filled with rich soil, ready to become a miniature landscape. The planting scheme is key. A mix of tall, spiky flowers like lavender and salvia are used to create height, while smaller, colorful blossoms and ferns fill the gaps, creating a lush, meadow-like effect. What elevates this from a simple planter to a magical scene is the addition of a tiny village. Detailed fairy houses, which can be lovingly crafted from recycled wood scraps, twigs, and clay, are nestled amongst the blooms as if they have sprouted from the earth themselves. This imaginative project gives a new purpose to a utilitarian object, proving how recycled items can become the foundation for a captivating story and bring wonder to any corner of the garden. Four, boots blooming with fairy homes. Don't throw away those old, leaky rain boots. Instead, upcycle them into the most charming and whimsical planters for a magical garden display. This imaginative project turns outgrown footwear into a captivating focal point, perfect for lining a garden path or decorating outdoor steps. The project begins with a collection of Wellington boots in soft pastel shades of pink, lavender, green, and beige. To convert them into functional planters, several small holes should be drilled into the soles to allow for proper water drainage, preventing the roots from becoming waterlogged. The boots are then filled with potting soil, ready to become miniature gardens. Each boot is planted with a lush arrangement of soft pink roses, spiky purple lavender, and delicate white blossoms, creating a beautiful bouquet bursting from the top. To complete the fairy tale scene, a tiny, detailed miniature house is nestled among the flowers in each boot, as if a fairy has taken up residence. Arranged in a neat row, this family of recycled boot planters creates a delightful and creative second purpose for items that would otherwise be discarded, adding a touch of enchantment to any space. 5. Illuminated ladder of flowers. Elevate your garden's charm by transforming a weathered, old ladder into a cascading display of flowers and light. This space-saving vertical garden is a perfect way to give a forgotten tool a beautiful new purpose, leaning it against a rustic stone wall to create instant shelving. The project starts with a salvaged wooden step ladder, celebrated for its authentic character and peeling blue-green paint. A collection of simple terracotta pots are used as the planters. To enhance the rustic aesthetic, the pots are given an aged patina, making them look as if they've been part of the garden for years. Each pot is then filled with an abundance of colorful flowers in soft shades of pink, purple, and white, creating a lush, cottage garden feel that softens the wood and stone. The true magic, however, comes from a delicate string of warm fairy lights, artfully woven between the pots and around the ladder's rungs. As daylight fades, these lights cast a gentle, enchanting glow, highlighting the blossoms and turning the display into a captivating nighttime feature. This shows how simple recycled items, combined with light, can create a stunning and romantic focal point. 6. Pedaling into a floral dream. Give a forgotten bicycle a beautiful new destination by upcycling it into a romantic and captivating planter for your garden. This project transforms a piece of nostalgic transportation into a stationary work of art, brimming with life and vintage charm. Begin by sourcing an old bicycle, where a bit of rust and wear only adds to its authentic character. To prepare it for its new role, baskets are firmly attached to the front handlebars and the rear rack. These baskets can be lined with moss or burlap to hold the soil before being generously planted with a profusion of flowers. A mix of blooms in soft shades of pink, lilac, and cream creates a lush, abundant look, as if the bicycle is delivering a fresh bouquet. To elevate the display from charming to truly magical, a delicate string of warm fairy lights is woven through the front basket and around the bicycle's frame. This ensures the feature is just as enchanting after the sun sets. Leaning gracefully against a rustic stone wall, the flower-filled bicycle becomes a stunning focal point that brings a powerful sense of nostalgia and romance to any garden space. 7. Shutters open to spring. Add a touch of rustic, provincial charm to a garden wall by upcycling a pair of old window shutters into a beautiful, three-dimensional art piece. This project begins with sourcing a pair of louvered wooden shutters, embracing their history and weathered character. The existing chippy, peeling paint in a soft blue-green hue is preserved to maintain the authentic, rustic aesthetic. These shutters are then mounted securely side by side onto a stone or garden wall, instantly creating a textured backdrop. The shutters become a unique canvas for displaying planters. Standard terracotta pots are given a custom paint job with a matching teal base and delicate pink floral details to harmonize with the shutters and the flowers. Using sturdy pot hangers, one pot is attached to the center of each shutter. Each pot is then filled with a romantic bouquet of pink roses and fragrant lavender, their soft colors contrasting beautifully with the aged wood and stone. A final touch of magic is added with delicate fairy lights twinkling nearby. The result is a stunning, layered display that turns a blank wall into a charming focal point. 8. Tiny worlds in light bulbs. Capture a miniature magical world inside an object of light by carefully upcycling old incandescent bulbs into enchanting hanging terrariums. This intricate project gives a new purpose to burnt-out light bulbs, transforming them from discarded waste into delicate treasures. The process requires patience. The metal contact at the bottom is removed, and the internal glass mount and filaments are carefully broken and extracted, leaving a hollow glass globe. The metal screw base can then be painted a decorative gold, and a small wire loop is attached for hanging. Using tweezers and a steady hand, a tiny landscape is built inside each bulb. A base of green moss is laid down, followed by a charming miniature fairy house. Delicate fern fronds and tiny blossoms in shades of pink, purple, and white are meticulously arranged around the house to complete the garden scene. Each bulb becomes a unique, self-contained vignette, a tiny world protected by glass. Hung in a row from a mossy branch, these recycled light bulb terrariums catch the light beautifully, adding a touch of intricate wonder and proving that even fragile items can be transformed into precious works of art. 9. Old cans pouring out blooms. Line your garden fence with rustic charm by transforming a collection of old watering cans into a stunning display of cascading flowers and light. This project celebrates the beauty of imperfection, starting with sourcing vintage galvanized metal watering cans. Those with a bit of rust and a weathered, peeling paint finish are ideal for achieving an authentic, rustic look. To prepare them for planting, Ensure a few drainage holes are present in the bottom to keep the plant roots healthy. Using their own handles, the cans are hung in a neat row from the top rail of a wooden fence, tilted slightly forward. This angle is key, as it encourages the flowers to spill out naturally. Each repurposed can is then filled with a beautiful arrangement of trailing flowers in soft shades of pink, purple, and cream. The blossoms are artfully positioned to cascade from both the main opening and the spout, creating a magical illusion that the cans are pouring out a river of flowers. To complete the enchanting scene, a string of delicate fairy lights is woven along the fence, adding a warm, inviting glow at dusk. 10. A Colander's cascading garden. Look no further than your kitchen cupboard for your next garden project. A forgotten, chipped enamel colander can be beautifully repurposed into a rustic and elegant hanging planter, adding a touch of shabby chic charm to any outdoor space. This project celebrates the history of a well-used item, with the colanders peeling paint revealing layers of color and character. The built-in holes that once drained pasta now provide excellent drainage for plants, making the conversion incredibly simple. To prepare it, you can add a liner of moss or burlap to help retain soil and moisture while still allowing excess water to escape. The colander is then filled with a lush arrangement of flowers. A mix of classic garden blooms like pink roses and white daisies provides fullness, while cascading purple flowers spill gracefully through the holes and over the edge. This creates a stunning, multi-dimensional display that seems to burst with life. For an added touch of evening magic, a delicate string of tiny fairy lights is woven throughout the bouquet, ready to cast a soft, enchanting glow as the sun sets, proving that beauty can be found in unexpected household items. (11) Log home with blooming windows. Transform a simple wooden birdhouse into an enchanting fairy dwelling adorned with living flowers, bringing a touch of miniature magic to your garden. This project combines the charm of handcrafted structures with the beauty of nature. Start with a basic wooden birdhouse, whether store-bought or made from reclaimed wood scraps. The natural texture of the wood adds to its rustic appeal. To enhance its fairy tale quality, small window boxes are added beneath the existing windows. These can be crafted from thin pieces of wood or even repurposed craft sticks. Small drainage holes should be added to the bottom of each box. The window boxes are then filled with a well-draining soil mix and planted with tiny, delicate flowers, such as pink and white petunias or violas. The miniature blooms spill over the edges, creating a vibrant and charming effect, as if the tiny inhabitants have a penchant for gardening. The birdhouse is then nestled on top of a moss-covered tree stump, further enhancing its woodland feel. Scattered pebbles around the base complete the scene, creating a delightful miniature landscape that invites imagination and wonder into the garden. (12) Log cradle for tiny homes. Transform a hollowed-out log into a whimsical and enchanting miniature world, creating a unique and natural planter for a fairy village. This project celebrates the inherent beauty of fallen wood, giving it a magical second life. Begin by sourcing a section of a weathered log that has a natural cavity or carefully hollow one out. Preserve the bark for a rustic aesthetic. Line the inside of the log with a permeable fabric, such as burlap, to help retain moisture and prevent soil erosion. Fill the cavity with a rich potting mix, creating a natural cradle for planting. Introduce a variety of small, colorful flowers, such as pink snapdragons, creamy white astilbe, and purple bellflowers, to create a vibrant meadow within the log. Nestled amongst the blooms, place several charming miniature houses. These can be handcrafted from natural materials like twigs, bark, and small stones, adding to the organic feel of the scene. A scattering of moss and small ferns around the houses further enhances the woodland atmosphere. This imaginative use of a recycled log creates a captivating and ever-changing display, bringing a touch of fantasy directly into the garden. (13) A boat's final blooming harbor. Give a retired boat a beautiful final harbor by repurposing it into a magnificent garden planter, filled with a cargo of beautiful blooms. This project turns a vessel that once sailed on water into a stunning feature that floats in a sea of flowers. The journey begins with sourcing an old wooden rowboat, embracing its history, peeling paint, and weathered character. To prepare it for its new life, several holes should be drilled in the hull for adequate drainage. The boat is then settled into its final position in the garden, nestled amongst tall grasses and wildflowers to make it look as though it has naturally washed ashore. The entire interior is filled with rich soil and planted with a dense meadow of flowers. A mix of airy, delicate blossoms in shades of pink, lavender, and white creates a soft, romantic feel, mimicking the look of seafoam and wild coastal fields. Planting the same flowers around the exterior of the boat helps to seamlessly blend it into the surrounding landscape. This grand-scale upcycling project transforms a forgotten relic into a living sculpture that tells a new story of peace and abundance. (14) A guitar case's swan song. Let a silent instrument case sing a new song by transforming it into a deeply romantic and poignant garden planter. This unique project gives a new voice to a forgotten object, blending the memory of music with the living beauty of nature. The project begins with a vintage hardshell guitar case, treasured for its scuffed exterior and rich, velvet-lined interior. To prepare it for planting, the body of the case should be lined with a thick, waterproof plastic liner to protect the plush fabric from soil and water. A layer of pebbles can be added at the bottom for drainage before filling with potting mix. The case is then filled with a wildflower-style bouquet. A mix of tall lavender spires and soft pink and white blossoms creates a beautiful, untamed arrangement that seems to grow organically from within. The deep red velvet interior provides a stunning, luxurious backdrop that makes the colors of the flowers pop. A delicate string of fairy lights woven through the bouquet adds a final magical touch, like lingering musical notes. Placed open on a mossy patch of ground, it becomes a powerful, story-filled focal point. 15. A tiny world in a tin. Unlock a secret miniature world by transforming a vintage metal tin into an enchanting garden diorama. This delightful project turns a rusty, forgotten container into a portable piece of magic, perfect for surprising visitors in your garden. The journey begins with an old metal lunchbox or suitcase, where the peeling paint and weathered patina are cherished for the character they provide. The inside is carefully landscaped to create a tiny scene. A layer of fine gravel forms a neat little patio or path, while a patch of artificial moss creates a lush lawn. The scene is then furnished with exquisite, dollhouse-scale wooden furniture, including a tiny bench, chairs, and a desk, suggesting a peaceful place for its unseen inhabitants. The real magic appears to pour in from above. A cascading arrangement of miniature flowers in shades of pink, cream, and lavender tumbles down the inside of the lid, like a floral waterfall entering the room. This beautiful detail blurs the line between the miniature world and the larger garden it inhabits. Left open on the grass, this recycled tin becomes a detailed story waiting to be discovered. (16) The Poet's Blooming Typewriter. Allow nature to write the final chapter on a vintage typewriter, transforming this forgotten machine into a poetic sculpture that blooms with new stories. This project honors the history of a recycled object, turning a tool of words into a canvas for living art. The project begins with a salvaged manual typewriter, where the rust and aged patina are not flaws, but essential parts of its character. Instead of using it as a simple container, this idea involves integrating nature directly into its form. Small pockets of sphagnum moss are carefully tucked into the typewriter's many crevices, between the keys, behind the roller, and along its metal body. These mossy pockets then become the planting medium for a variety of small, delicate flowers. A mix of blossoms in shades of pink, purple, and cream are artfully arranged to look as if they are sprouting directly from the machine's mechanics. The effect is one of nature gently reclaiming a tool of human thought. To add a layer of evening enchantment, a fine strand of warm fairy lights is woven around the base, illuminating the unique display, creating a powerful symbol of new life springing from old ideas. 17. A rainbow path of bottles. Define your garden paths with a ribbon of soft color by cleverly repurposing plastic bottles into a charming and eco-friendly border. This project turns everyday waste into a whimsical feature that guides the eye and adds a playful touch to the landscape. The process is wonderfully simple and impactful. Start by collecting empty plastic drink bottles of a uniform size and shape. After thoroughly cleaning them and removing any labels, they are ready for their transformation. Each bottle is painted with durable, outdoor-safe paint in a variety of coordinating pastel colors, such as soft pink, lavender, and mint green. Once dry, the bottles are turned upside down and partially buried in the ground along the edge of a path or flower bed. Setting them closely together creates a continuous, scalloped line that neatly contains the garden space. The result is a delightful, candy-colored border that winds through the garden, perfectly complementing the hues of the surrounding flowers. This imaginative idea is a testament to how the most common recycled materials can be elevated into a beautiful and highly effective design element, proving that sustainable gardening can also be incredibly stylish. 18. Tin Can's Rustic Floral Charm. Discover the rustic beauty hidden on your pantry shelf by upcycling simple tin cans into charming, shabby chic vases for your garden. This project celebrates the elegance of imperfection, turning everyday food containers into character-filled decorative pieces. The process begins with collecting empty tin cans of various sizes. After cleaning them and removing any labels, the creative work begins. The cans are first painted in soft pastel colors like dusty pink and pale blue. To achieve the beautiful, aged look, the paint is then artfully distressed. This can be done by lightly sanding the surface in spots or by applying techniques that encourage chipping, revealing the metal underneath and allowing a natural, rusty patina to form over time. For use as a long-term planter, a few drainage holes should be punched in the bottom before adding soil. Each can is then filled with a simple bouquet of fresh garden flowers. A mix of spiky lavender and soft pink and white blossoms creates a lovely, informal arrangement that complements the rustic containers perfectly. Lined up on a mossy stone wall, they create a display of understated, rustic elegance. 19. A suitcase of blooming memories. Let old journeys blossom into new beauty by transforming a vintage suitcase into an unforgettable garden planter. This project upcycles forgotten luggage into a captivating feature that tells a rich story without saying a word. The search begins at flea markets or in attics for hardshell suitcases with character and history. To create a more impactful display, 2 suitcases can be stacked, providing height and stability. The top suitcase is left open to serve as the planter. To protect the interior lining and the structure of the case, it should be lined with a heavy-duty plastic sheet before being filled with a lightweight potting mix. The open case is then filled with a romantic and abundant bouquet of flowers. A mix of classic roses, tall lavender, and delicate filler flowers in shades of pink, cream, and purple creates a lush display that seems to burst from the luggage. For a truly magical touch, especially for evening enjoyment, a string of warm fairy lights is draped over the suitcases, casting a soft, enchanting glow. This creative display turns a symbol of travel into a beautiful statement about finding a peaceful home in the garden. 20. A bed of blooming dreams. Create the ultimate romantic centerpiece for your garden by bringing the bedroom outdoors, transforming a vintage metal bed frame into a literal bed of flowers. This ambitious project starts with a salvaged, ornate metal bed frame, where its scrolled ironwork adds a touch of classic elegance. To form the mattress, a custom-sized planter box is built to fit snugly inside the frame's perimeter. This box should be lined and have drainage holes before being filled with rich soil. For an even more dramatic effect, a simple metal arch or trellis can be attached to the headboard and footboard, creating a beautiful canopy structure. The planter box is then densely planted with upright flowers like lavender and salvia, creating a soft, fragrant mattress of purple and pink. Vining flowers, such as climbing roses, are trained to grow up and over the arched canopy, weaving a breathtaking ceiling of blossoms. For a final touch of enchantment, strings of tiny fairy lights are intertwined with the canopy flowers, promising a magical glow after sunset. This recycled bed becomes a stunning living sculpture, a place where dreams and nature truly meet. 21. An unexpected garden confection. Create a spectacular and surprising centerpiece for any garden celebration by upcycling old car tires into a whimsical, multi-tiered cake sculpture. This grand project begins by collecting a set of used tires in various sizes. After a thorough cleaning, the tires are stacked in descending order, from largest at the base to smallest at the top, to mimic the classic shape of a tiered cake. The real transformation happens with paint. Each tire layer is coated in a soft, confectionery pastel shade like dusty pink, mint green, or pale lavender, turning the rugged rubber into something sweet and elegant. The icing on this unique cake is made from fresh flowers. Lush garlands of pink and cream roses, accented with smaller purple blossoms, are carefully placed on the ridges between each tire layer. These floral rings add softness, romance, and a beautiful natural element to the industrial structure. For a final festive touch, tiny, sparkling fairy lights can be woven among the blooms, ready to illuminate the sculpture as evening approaches. This imaginative creation proves that even unlikely recycled materials can be transformed into a joyful and unforgettable piece of garden art. (22) A piano's final floral song. Let a silent piano play one final, beautiful melody by transforming it into a breathtaking floral waterfall in a secluded garden corner. This ambitious project upcycles a majestic instrument beyond repair into a poignant and unforgettable work of living art. The project starts with a salvaged upright piano, where its peeling paint, chipped wood, and aged patina are celebrated as part of its story. To create the central feature, a hidden container or floral foam block can be placed inside the piano's upper front panel. This holds water and provides a base for the arrangement. A magnificent cascade of flowers, a mix of romantic roses and other blossoms in shades of pink, cream, and purple, is arranged to spill out from the piano's center and flow down over the silent keys. The effect is that of frozen music, a visual representation of a beautiful sound. To enhance the magical feel, vines are encouraged to wrap around the piano's body, and delicate fairy lights are intertwined with them, casting a soft, ethereal glow as twilight falls. This powerful display turns a symbol of complex human creation into a testament to nature's simple, enduring beauty. (23) Sewing a garden masterpiece. Stitch together a piece of industrial history and natural beauty by upcycling a vintage sewing machine base into an elegant garden console table. This project honors the craftsmanship of a bygone era, giving a new, decorative purpose to an object once built for work. The project begins by salvaging the beautiful cast iron base from an old, non-functional treadle sewing machine. The intricate scrollwork and weathered, rusty finish are preserved to maintain its authentic charm. The original top and machine are removed, and a new tabletop, crafted from a simple rustic plank of reclaimed wood, is securely attached in its place. The result is a unique and sturdy table, perfect for displaying a featured planter. A simple wooden box, filled with a lush arrangement of flowers, rests on top. A vibrant mix of petunias in soft shades of pink, purple, and cream spills over the edges, creating a beautiful contrast with the dark wood and iron. To add a touch of whimsy and highlight the beautiful ironwork after dark, a fine string of warm fairy lights is loosely draped around the base, bringing a magical glow to this historic piece. (24) Caged blooms of enchantment. Transform ordinary bird cages into extraordinary hanging gardens, bringing a touch of vintage romance and whimsical charm to your porch or patio. This project upcycles these decorative structures into unique vessels for showcasing the beauty of fresh flowers and delicate lights. Begin with a collection of old bird cages in various sizes and styles. A distressed paint finish in soft, neutral tones enhances their vintage appeal. The cages are prepared by placing a small pot or lining the base with cocoa coir or moss to hold the soil. Then, they are generously filled with a mix of lush greenery, such as ferns, and a variety of colorful flowers, including soft pink roses and delicate purple blossoms, allowing them to gently spill out through the cage openings. For an added touch of magic, especially for evening enjoyment, A fine string of warm white fairy lights is carefully woven throughout the foliage and blooms within each cage, creating a soft and enchanting glow. Suspended from the porch ceiling or tree branches using sturdy hooks and chains, these repurposed bird cages become captivating hanging displays, transforming your outdoor space into a whimsical and enchanting sanctuary. 25. Bottles illuminate floral dreams. Transform a chandelier frame and an assortment of recycled glass bottles into a breathtakingly whimsical outdoor lighting fixture, perfect for adding a touch of fairy tale magic to your garden evenings. This project upcycles forgotten items into a stunning statement piece. Begin by sourcing an old chandelier frame. Its style and level of ornamentation will contribute to the final look. Clean and prepare an eclectic collection of glass bottles in various shapes, sizes, and subtle colors like pale pink, soft green, and clear. Some bottles can be left plain, while others can be decorated with delicate paint patterns or wrapped with fine wire. Instead of traditional light bulbs, small battery-operated LED candles or strings of tiny fairy lights are placed inside each bottle, creating a soft, diffused glow. The bottles are then carefully attached to the arms of the chandelier frame using sturdy wire or strong adhesive. To further enhance the enchanting atmosphere, faux or real trailing flowers and vines are artfully draped around the chandelier and its hanging bottles, creating a garden-inspired cascade. Suspended from a sturdy branch, this repurposed chandelier becomes a captivating focal point, casting a warm and magical light that transforms your outdoor space into a dreamy oasis. 26. A gathering of floral chairs. Create a quiet and soulful art installation in your garden by giving a new purpose to a collection of forgotten wooden chairs. This project turns humble, mismatched seating into an enchanting assembly of individual plant stands, creating a powerful and poignant display. Begin by gathering old wooden chairs from flea markets, or by rescuing those that are no longer sturdy enough for sitting. Their beauty lies in their imperfections: the peeling paint, the scuffed wood, and the weathered finish. No need for a fresh coat of paint. Instead, celebrate the authentic, rustic character each one possesses. Place a single terracotta pot on the seat of each chair. To create a unified and impactful display, fill each pot with a similar lush bouquet of flowers. A mound of blossoms in gentle shades of lavender, lilac, and cream creates a harmonious look that ties the eclectic collection of chairs together. For a subtle touch of magic, a fine wire of tiny fairy lights can be wrapped around each pot, ready to cast a soft glow in the evening. Arranged on the lawn, they become silent, blooming sentinels in your personal sanctuary. 27. The garden's floral guardian. Create a friendly guardian for your garden by assembling a whimsical scarecrow from a collection of recycled and repurposed materials. This charming figure is less about scaring birds and more about adding a touch of heartwarming personality to your flower beds. The construction begins with a sturdy post for the body, with a simple wooden crosspiece for the shoulders. The scarecrow's head is cleverly fashioned from an inverted terracotta pot. For the body, an old, outgrown child's patchwork jacket is stuffed with straw, rags, or plastic bags to give it form and then placed over the frame. Bundles of straw or raffia are used to create rustic hands peeking out from the sleeves. The most enchanting feature is the floral face. A wide-brimmed straw hat is placed on top of the pothead. The crown of the hat is then lined and filled with soil, transforming it into a unique, elevated planter. It's then filled with a vibrant mix of colorful flowers, whose overflowing blossoms create a beautiful, cheerful face and hair. This upcycled scarecrow becomes a delightful focal point, a truly special garden companion. As our journey through these reimagined gardens comes to a close, I hope you feel inspired. Remember, the next time you encounter a forgotten object, whether it's a piece of furniture with a few scratches or a simple household container, you're not just looking at clutter, you're looking at a canvas. Your garden's next masterpiece might be waiting right under your nose, ready for its second act. I encourage you to start small. Pick a style that resonated with you and make it your own. The most beautiful gardens are the ones filled with love and personal touches that tell a story. Thank you once again for spending your time here at Suhar Aesthetic Studio. If you enjoyed these ideas, please consider subscribing to join our creative community. Until next time, happy creating, and may your garden always be a space that truly reflects your unique spirit.